Hello dear guys, what is up? This is Mislav and today we are going to talk about what is a Linux distribution. And let me just write it down just so you know what we're talking about. And I'm going to write Linux distro because distro is short for distribution. You may also hear the term flavor, and I think flavor is spelled this way in English. Flavor, this is a U, and it doesn't really look like a U, but yeah, this is flavor. Okay, so you may hear the term Linux distribution, Linux distro, or Linux flavor, and they all refer to the same thing. Linux distribution is an operating system made from a software collection that is based upon the Linux kernel, and that's the definition I got from Wikipedia. So basically, if you have the Linux kernel, let me just kind of write it here. So this is kernel. We talked about this in some previous videos. So if this is the kernel, then you have another circle. And so this entire circle, this circle in its entirety is the operating system. But the kernel remains the same, as the definition says. But the other stuff, the other programs are different. And so what does exactly that mean? That means that all Linux distributions have the same kernel, which I already said, but they differ in the software which comes supplied with them. Okay? And so what Linux distribution should you pick? That may be a question for me. Mislav, what should I pick? What should I pick? Well, honestly, I have never used any other distribution other than Ubuntu, or I don't know if the correct pronunciation is Ubuntu or Ubuntu. And the distribution which I'm currently using is Debian. Okay, now there are also some other distributions which you may hear about on the internet, which is, for example, Red Hat. There's also Linux Mint. There's also Arch Linux, etc., etc. So there's really a lot of distributions. I'm not really sure how many of them are there, but I think there's really a lot of distributions, and it's up for you to pick your distribution. But honestly, whatever distribution you pick, it shouldn't really affect your Linux experience that much. So no matter which distribution you pick, again, I only have experience with Ubuntu and Debian, but no matter which one you pick, you should be able to follow along this tutorial series. Maybe with slight modifications depending on your distribution, but those modifications should really be minor, not something that's really going to trip you up massively. Okay, so this was it for this video. I hope you will watch the next tutorial and talk soon.